Monte Carlo's big surprise threatens Carlos Alcaraz. Is Carlos Alcaraz in danger in Monte Carlo? The young Spaniard, a top favorite for the title, now faces a new challenge: Daniel Altmaier, the tournament's biggest surprise. With 2 stunning wins, the German arrives red hot in the round of 16 and has no intention of stopping. Today, we'll tell you everything about Altmaier's unexpected rise, how Alcaraz comes into this match, and why this clash could be one of the most exciting of the tournament. In every ATP tournament, there's usually one name that surprises everyone, and this time in Monte Carlo, that name is Daniel Altmaier. The German tennis player, ranked 84th in the world, has become the tournament's big revelation after defeating 2 tough opponents. First, he pulled off an upset by beating Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime, one of the most solid players of the year, ranked in the top 10 of the race and consistently performing in recent tournaments. Altmaier won in straight sets, 6-7 and 3-6, showing great mental strength and an excellent adaptation to the Monégasque clay. Far from settling for just one eye-catching result, Altmaier confirmed his good form by also defeating veteran Richard Gasquet, a player with plenty of experience on this kind of stage. It was a much tighter match, but the German managed to suffer and come through with sets of 7-5, 5-7, and 6-2. With that win, he reached the round of 16 and now faces the toughest opponent of his run, Carlos Alcaraz. The Spaniard is one of the top contenders for the Monte Carlo title, but Altmaier's level makes it clear this won't be an easy ride. Carlos Alcaraz arrives at this match after a hard-fought victory against Francisco Cerundolo, who pushed him to the limit in his debut. The Argentine won the first set 6-3, capitalizing on Alcaraz's errors and his lack of rhythm on clay. However, Alcaraz responded authoritatively, winning the next 2 sets 6-0 and 6-1, making it clear he's ready to return to his best form. Still, his season has been irregular, with ups and downs that raise some doubts, and that could be exploited by a pressure-free opponent like Altmaier. Altmaier's strength lies in his ability to stay calm and play solidly from the baseline. In Monte Carlo, he has shown he knows how to suffer, manage pressure moments, and capitalize on any opportunity. Against Alcaraz, he has nothing to lose and everything to gain. He has already matched his best ATP performance, and one more win would bring him close again to world number 47, his career high achieved in 2023. His motivation is sky high. The key to the match will be who imposes their rhythm first. Alcaraz is explosive, aggressive, and versatile. Altmaier is patient, organized, and consistent from the baseline. If the Spaniard starts strong and takes control, the match could swing in his favor quickly. But if the German manages to prolong rallies and push Alcaraz to his physical and mental limits, things could get complicated. Altmaier has shown he can adapt to different playing styles and knows how to unsettle higher-ranked players. Alcaraz, on his end, cannot afford another slow start like the one he had against Cerundolo. Although he managed to turn it around, a rival like Altmaier may not offer the same leeway. The German comes in confident and already has 2 matches under his belt on this same court, giving him a slight edge in terms of adaptation. For the Spaniard, it will be crucial to be focused from the first point and maintain a high intensity that prevents his opponent from settling. One of Alcaraz's most effective weapons in his debut was the drop shot, which he used to break Cerundolo's rhythm and force errors. It could again be a key tactic against Altmaier, provided he picks the right moments. Moreover, his foot speed and ability to change the direction of play could make the difference if he maintains precise execution. However, the pressure of being the favorite will be on his shoulders, something his rival will surely try to exploit. Altmaier's story in Monte Carlo is reminiscent of those breakout runs that shake up the draw and change the course of a tournament. Few expected to see him at this stage, but his tennis is speaking loudly. Defeating Auger-Aliassime and then Gasquet is no coincidence. The German is in a sweet spot and will try to ride it as long as possible. In a season full of surprises, Altmaier wants to be the name that keeps making noise. For Alcaraz, this match is a trial by fire, not only because of the opponent's difficulty but also for what it represents on his path to the title and in his quest for consistency in 2025. A convincing win would reaffirm him as a title favorite and bring him closer to the top of the rankings. A loss, on the other hand, would be an unexpected blow in a season where he has already dropped some points. Every round matters, and this duel could set the tone for what's to come. Daniel Altmaier has burst onto the scene in Monte Carlo and poses a serious threat to Carlos Alcaraz. With 2 surprising victories, the German arrives with rhythm, confidence, and no pressure, while the Spaniard must prove he's ready to live up to his role as favorite. The clash between them promises intensity, strategy, and high tension. Will Alcaraz impose his talent, or will Altmaier pull off the tournament's biggest upset? We'll find out soon, but one thing's for sure, Monte Carlo already has its big story. And it's not over yet. How much money has Carlos Alcaraz made in his short but impactful career? The young man from Murcia has not only won major titles on the circuit but has also built a fortune worthy of the sport's biggest stars. Today we'll break down how much Alcaraz has earned so far, what his main sources of income are, and why he's already a goldmine for the world's top brands. Carlos Alcaraz, at just 21 years old, has already left an indelible mark on world tennis. He's won Wimbledon twice, the French Open, and the US Open, along with an Olympic silver medal. An impressive resume that has not only positioned him as Rafael Nadal's natural heir but has also made him one of the most lucrative figures in today's sports world. Despite his youth, he has already generated tens of millions of euros in prize money and sponsorship deals. And the best part is, he's just getting started. Although he doesn't usually flaunt his lifestyle, Alcaraz has already amassed a remarkable fortune. According to recent estimates, his tournament prize earnings exceed 30 million euros. This includes victories in Grand Slams, Masters 1000s, and other ATP events. Curiously, despite all this money, he still lives at Juan Carlos Ferrero's academy, his coach and mentor, which shows his humility and total focus on his sports career. But where his fortune really takes off is in the world of advertising. Global brands like Nike, Rolex, BMW, and Babolat have signed multi-million euro deals with him, seeing in his image youth, freshness, and a bright future. Alcaraz represents the new generation of tennis, making him a key figure for brands looking to connect with younger audiences. His natural charisma and positive attitude on and off the court make him very appealing for marketing campaigns. One clear sign of his commercial potential was the exhibition match against Rafael Nadal broadcasted by Netflix. Just for that event, Carlos Alcaraz earned 1 million euros. These special appearances not only boost his international exposure but also exponentially raise his market value. In a sport with few big stars, Alcaraz is already becoming a global brand. Though still far from Rafael Nadal's 133 million euros in career prize money, Carlos Alcaraz has a very promising road ahead. If he maintains his current level and keeps winning big titles, it wouldn't be surprising if he surpasses that figure in the coming years. And unlike many players who peak commercially near the end of their careers, Alcaraz is already a media phenomenon at 21. That gives him a huge advantage in terms of long-term income. His lifestyle, so far, remains very grounded and simple. He lives at the academy in Vienna, trains daily, and keeps a close circle with his team and family. That personal stability is another factor contributing to his success. Major brands value not only athletic performance but also public image. And in Alcaraz's case, his profile is nearly perfect: young, successful, humble, and professional. All of that translates to trust from sponsors. In addition to the contracts already signed, Carlos Alcaraz is constantly growing on social media and in the media. His popularity has skyrocketed, increasing the value of every new campaign he stars in. The more he wins and the more visible he becomes, the higher his appearance fees for events, exhibitions, and promotions. Modern tennis is no longer just about lifting trophies, it's also about building a personal brand. Today, experts estimate Carlos Alcaraz's net worth to be over 40 million euros when combining prize money, sponsorships, special contracts, and other deals. And that figure will only rise if he remains at the top. His youth, physical fitness, and competitive mindset make him one of the most valuable assets in world sports. In a time when Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal are nearing the end of their careers, Alcaraz is already filling the void those legends will leave behind. His impact goes beyond tennis. In Spain, he's already one of the most influential athletes, and internationally, he's considered a phenomenon comparable to what Federer or Nadal once were. Every title he wins multiplies his income. Every appearance on TV or social media opens new commercial opportunities. And every new fan he gains solidifies his status as a global idol. Carlos Alcaraz isn't just a tennis star. He's a marketing star. Unexpected message from Carlos Alcaraz after his victory against Cerundolo? Has Carlos Alcaraz's slump come to an end? The young Spanish tennis player shone again in Monte Carlo with a spectacular comeback against Argentine Francisco Cerundolo. After a rocky start full of errors, Alcaraz rediscovered his best form on his favorite surface, clay. With a bold message on the camera, "I missed clay!" Alcaraz made it clear he's back. Today we tell you how this great comeback unfolded and what to expect from his upcoming round of 16 match. Carlos Alcaraz arrived in Monte Carlo needing to reconnect with his best form after some recent stumbles on hard courts. The debut against Francisco Cerundolo didn't seem like the ideal setting to regain confidence, but the Spaniard imposed his will with character. The match started uphill, erratic, imprecise in exchanges, and full of unforced errors. The Argentine seized his moment and took the first set 6-3, leaving many wondering if Alcaraz was still in a downward spiral. However, the Mercian reacted just in time and began to show his true form. Cerundolo, a clay court specialist and currently ranked 22nd in the ATP, started confidently. He felt comfortable from the baseline and put together a run of 4 consecutive games in the first set. He capitalized on Alcaraz's 13 unforced errors, who looked off rhythm and imprecise. The Argentine, a finalist in Buenos Aires this year, had defeated Fabio Fognini in the first round and was gaining momentum in the tournament. Everything seemed to be going his way until the Spaniard adjusted his game. From the second set on, Alcaraz switched into champion mode and steamrolled his opponent. In just 50 minutes, Alcaraz completed a dominant comeback. He won the second set 6-0 and sealed the third with a commanding 6-1. From the start of the second set, the Spaniard dominated every point. He regained precision in his shots, increased the intensity in returns, and smartly used his signature drop shots to break Cerundolo's rhythm. The difference in level became evident, and the Argentine couldn't find answers to the tennis explosion Alcaraz unleashed. It was as if the Mercian had awakened and remembered why clay is his domain. "I missed clay," he wrote on the camera after the match. The message reflected what many felt watching him play. Alcaraz was smiling again on clay. With this win, the Mercian moves into the round of 16 with renewed confidence. Clay allows him to unleash his most complete game, and that became clear once he loosened up on court. The rhythm, power, and variety in his shots turned him into an unstoppable force in the second and third sets. Cerundolo barely held on in the first, and then was completely outmatched. Alcaraz adapted quickly to the match conditions. His initial feelings weren't great, but he managed to reset mentally and focus on executing his game plan. One of his main weapons was his ability to dominate on serve and attack decisively at key moments. He also showed maturity in managing the emotional rhythm of the match. Instead of panicking after a poor start, he calmed down, assessed the situation, and gradually built his comeback. That composure is a clear sign of his growth as a competitor. The stats from the second and third sets were overwhelming. Alcaraz won nearly all his first serve points, committed few unforced errors, and put enormous pressure on Cerundolo's service games. He also displayed exceptional movement, with quick footwork and surgical use of drop shots to close points. That combination of speed, creativity, and tactical control makes him one of the most feared players on clay. The 7-0 run in games was a warning shot to the rest of the draw. Carlos is back in his natural habitat.